Hi, I'm Jermaine, co-founder of the Learn Grow Invest community. Today we're going to be doing a walkthrough of JtraderPro. This is going to be in-depth. It's going to be unlike anything you've ever seen from any other JTrader video. So you definitely want to watch all of this one. Sit down, make notes, log into your own JtraderPro platform and follow along, because everything that we're going to share today is going to greatly help you to level up your investing. I'm going to be joined by a good friend of mine, David Rose, who's going to take us through step by step from the registration process, accessing your account, funding your account, viewing the market, buying and selling of stocks, understanding the different terms, understanding the queue. We're gonna be looking at the US side of the market, the bond side of the market. We're gonna look at how to, just learn those little tips and tricks that you've always wanted to know about JTrader. This is the video for it. So if this is your first time here, we're an investment community that's built on biblical principles. We were founded on Deuteronomy 8:18, which says, "Remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth." And so we acknowledge Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior in this community. And I mean, we just welcome you. So join us, subscribe, check us out on social media. And feel free to let us know your comments about this video. Was it helpful? Let us know your thoughts. If there's anything that we missed, tell us in the comments below. But I'm sure this is going to be a very impactful video, and it's one that we've been wanting to do for a long while. So just enjoy. David, let's start. Where do we go? Where do we start?
Well, for one, let me share my screen. That's the first step.
Yep.
JtraderPro is a JSE platform that was made to, allow for the brokerage firms to have one common environment to organize, to trade, to process funds. It was basically to simplify the whole online account process and basically remove some of the workload from the brokers. Some brokers like Mayberry Investments Limited and JMB have their own independent platforms. NCB introduced their own platform recently as well, but JtraderPro is this common platform that anybody can use, and as I said, you can have multiple brokerage accounts on it. So for those who are new, the link is right here, JtraderPro.jamstockex.com, and you just go to sign up. As I said, you can just put any random information here.
David, can we zoom in?
Sure. And right here, guys, please note, choose a very unique username. Don't make it one of your common usernames, because in digital age, we're trying to reduce commonness and kind of create diversity. So reduce the hacker's job. And right here is the critical part. So what you're going to do, you're going to put in your username, select your password. And for those persons who are like, what password should I use? People, for those who don't know, there are the password managers, LastPass, Dashlane. You can use generate randomized passwords for you, so you have to remember, and it reduces the risk to you. Right here, when it comes to the security questions, what you are supposed to do is basically, for simple terms, rather than simple, put in your username. Security questions are just, a level of protection, to make sure you're fully protected. Please note, I'm using completely random information. Just because I want people to, at least see what's going on. So you can make this a question if you want.
Yeah, one of the things I've seen here, and just how how they use these questions is that they would tend to rotate it. So, sometimes you log in, you'll see question 1, sometimes you'll see question 2, sometimes you'll see question 3. So it's rotated each time that you log on.
And so guys, what would happen is that you just confirm your personal details, and you would just press continue. And after you press continue, you would say, all right, go to your email and verify your address, your email address. So you would just come, log in, and we move people. So, all right. So the details right here are basically blurred. Sorry for that, people, but
yeah, man, this will be blurred.
We gotta be, sensitive and protect ourselves in this digital age. And right here, if you don't remember if you want to actually see your question or your password, you can just press the I right there. So when you log in, you see all this come up right here. So right here, you see your account section, your trade section, your market section, your settings, and so on. And it says when you last logged in, gives you the contact right here. You can check for help, security settings, and so on. So what you would do is that when you log on to JtraderPro, you wouldn't see any details right here. You see all be blank. So what you would do is that you would go to add JSSD account, and here it would ask you, do you have an existing JSSD account? So I'm going to show the case scenario of it being no. So I'm not sure how this process really works, to be honest, in terms of, you not having a JSSD account. I want to open a new account, but basically all this allows for you to do is basically, allows for you to connect with the broker ahead of time, in essence, for you to try to open the account. But all that's going to happen is that, you see JSSD account number, and then please note, the account name is really the name for the specific brokerage account you're going to name. So remember, you can have multiple brokerage accounts at the same broker, with multiple brokerage accounts to different brokers. So if you have 2 brokerage accounts, you probably might name your account John Brown 1, another account John Brown 2. This is just all for context for you to understand, who's the primary JSSD holder. And you select a broker right here, and as you can see, you have 10 brokers right here out of the JSCs, I think 13, 14 brokers. So as I said, when you have account with any of these brokers, you're a bingo. You can just, connect to them and everything. But you have to clearly remember that each broker has their own minimum opening amount. Some have their own minimum, funding amounts. So in the past, NTB used to require you to with a minimum funding of $50,000. It's now $10,000. Each broker has their own different amounts. So I'd contact my broker ahead of time when I'm ready to sign for JtraderPro, to know how much money I should have in my brokerage account ahead of time, so that when I do request the funds in, there's no issue. So you select the broker for the request amount of funds for trading. And remember, guys, the JSE has US dollar currency stocks. So like your proven, your sterling investments, your first rock, and then the rest of the GMD market, like NTB, Scotia, Barida, VMIL, and so on. So you got to specify which currency you want to add. As I said, some persons will trade US market, some persons will trade GMD market. So you have to specify which currency you want to add. So once you've selected, what you want to add, you review information, and then, you request to your broker. What happens after that is that what you're supposed to do is that you're supposed to actually contact your broker or your advisor, keyword advisor, and you send an email saying, I would like you to approve this amount of money for my JtraderPro account. And some of them have this system where they call you ahead of time to verify that you actually sent this request in, or so on. And once that's done, your account is fully connected and registered. So once your account is approved, you have your money available live and ready to start trading on JtraderPro. You have any questions, Jermaine?
No. So far, so good.
All right. So let's go to markets now. So before you actually add a JtraderPro account, you cannot go to markets. So in Trinidad, when you sign up with Top, you can actually check the market yourself. You don't actually register as you're in Jamaica. You have to have a registered JSSC account and connect it first before you can actually, go to markets. And the key thing I forgot to mention was that type of brokers like Strategic Investments, they have a specified group client email where you send your so when you send your request to funding to your broker, what happens is that you basically can see that email. So that if your advisor is probably on vacation or whatever, somebody else will see the request and approve your funding or so on, right? So when you come into markets, you're going to see all the various indices, your main index, your JC Manufacturing Distribution Index combined, and the list goes on. If you want to know what each of these indices represent, I'd recommend you go to the JC's website or check out their annual yearbook or their yearly publication and see what each indices covers, basically. So as you can see this is $2.31 trillion and this is $2.66 trillion. And this kind of shows you how much wealth there is in Jamaica that we do not see sometimes. And for context, NCB's asset is about 1.9. NCB Financial Group's asset base is $1.9 trillion. So it kind of gives you some understanding or effect to value in the country. So right now the market is closed, but although it's closed, what you will see is information from Friday. So the JSE's platform, needs some information in terms of being able to display this information fully. But what you're going to see is a symbol, and let's explain. So where you see best bid quantity right here, this is just the volume that someone's willing to bid to get a particular stock. This is the price they're willing to pay. You multiply these two figures, figure out the value they're willing to trade or how much they're willing to spend. Then you have the best ask. The best ask is basically, what somebody is willing to sell, and the volume right here is what they're willing to sell. So to differentiate, remember, persons who are on the best ask side are persons who already own the stock. So they're looking to sell the stock. Persons who are the best bid side are persons who are bidding to actually purchase the stock at a particular price and so on. So the opening price is basically, with reference to the closing price, probably on the previous Friday or so on, or based on the JC system works. The last price right here is more likely the last price it was traded for. The VWAP is volume weighted average price. And what this means is that it's a mathematical formula whereby the total value traded divided by the volume gives you the market price, basically. So what that means is that if there are more trades done towards a particular volume and price, the price is going to close around that range.
So pause there one sec, David. So that VWAP price, is that the same price if I should go to price history for a stock? Is that the amount that I'm going to see? That VWAP price?
So let me go to the JC's combined market summary for Friday, so you can actually see what I'm referencing. So let's go to combined market. So see, $4.63.
Perfect.
And when we go back right here, is the VWAP right here, is the closing price basically as well. So let us bring it in the context, right? So there's only one trade for the day. Still, the only trade for the day was 2,228 units at 463. Then that is the VWAP. You're gonna have multiple trades throughout the day, and as you can see right here, there was a low price of $4.55, high price of $5. But what the VWAP basically tells us, in essence, is that there's a greater volume towards the lower end of the band, around the $4.55, rather than the $5 peak, which is why you see the price come to $4.63. I hope I'm making sense and not being too complicated, but it's just a mathematical formula. So, as I said, if you multiply the value traded for the day divided by the total volume traded,
just think about the name. It says volume weighted average price. So
and it's over here we can actually calculate it. So 10,309.75 divided by 2228, and I get 463. Hope you can see this, Jermaine, but I'm just trying to show what I'm talking about. But so when you look over here, the total quantity traded is basically the total volume. The high right here is the highest price the stock has gone for the entire day. The low is the lowest price is traded for the entire day. Total value traded is, as I said, the total cumulative value of the trades that have been done so far. And last update is basically, when the system was last updated with reference to everything else. So as I said, let's just try something to see. Oh, I should go through the queue right here. So in the past, the only thing you would see on JtraderPro is just the queue, which is, you know, a list of orders for the buy and sell side. But now you can actually see the price history from the JSE systems. Since in the past, you had to actually go and actually find the pricing information, which was a little bit of extra work, which was necessary, but no, only basically displayed in front of you. So 3 months, 6 months, year to date is what YTD means, guys. And then 1 year is basically going back 1 year from the date of the particular trade. And then all is going back to as far as the data pool is allowable on the JSE side. So 3 months is basically a quarter and whatever. So basically, as you've seen right here, last traded price, the closing price, the change relative to the previous opening price, the percentage change. And as I said, it basically displays information to you as well. So for context, remember guys, we're actually zoomed in on the screen. So that is why it looks a little bit more than it should. As you can see right here, these are persons are willing to buy. This is the queue to sell. So why does this matter? Because the reality is, if you are looking for the price to go past a particular point, what happens is that it's actually a little problem if, you know, you don't see the kind of demand on one side to look for the sell side. So you need this orders to be cleared. The stock will likely pass $5.10 unless somebody buys past this volume, and then after that, you have these two larger volumes right here, and so on. And the thing is, what happened in context, usually it matters to understand the queue and, like, you know, it's information, it kind of guides into understanding if you're going to look into a particular second of a particular timeline, will the possibility actually arise where you can actually surpass the price you're looking for. So for example, the largest volume we've seen over the last 6 months was here, and it was 147,000 units back in May. Since then, the volumes have been like a little bit shallow, especially in the last 2 months. So this kind of at least makes you understand that if you're looking for a particular price jump, you really shouldn't expect it. And based on the volumes you're seeing right here as well, if you're looking to somewhat call, you know, trade between the spread of these stocks, for example, in this case, 1,311, you're in for a big surprise. And that's a pretty one either. So if you say you want to buy the stock, you just press buy, or in this case, if you actually own the units, you press sell. So when you do press buy, it does come up and say 138SL. As I said, I'm not sure why it doesn't tell you the company name anymore, which is very odd. And right here, this is just showing you, know, the particular details of order type, quantity, price, and so on, right? So you select your JSSD account, whichever account you have, because remember guys, you say you have 5 brokerage accounts with 5 brokers that are actually able to be used on JtraderPro. You can have all 5 accounts here on JtraderPro and trade on them independently as you want. You can mix between the accounts and the cash or whatever, but at the same time, you can, you know, choose to top up your accounts or do as you please as needed. So you just select buy, and right here, the JS include the calculator. So for example, put 138SL. I don't find it ridiculous sometimes, but so it goes. And we can either put the quantity or the dollar amount. The dollar amount is good if you understand that you have a particular fixed amount of cash. Let's just say we have $10,000 worth of cash, right? And you put $5 as the price you want to use, or in this case, the market price. And it automatically balances $5, right? It can tell us we can only buy 1,981 units of this company at $5 with the amount of cash we have on hand. For context, remember guys, the commission will vary by broker. So for example, on JtraderPro, Proven and Sagicor are 0.5%. Barita Investments Limited is 0.75%. And NCB Capital Markets is 1%. Now, other brokers here, we're going to charge you 2% and so on. So what you're seeing right here isn't an accurate reflection of what you're actually going to see for other companies. And as I said, it's just saying instead we will put in just 2,000 units. We're basically realize we need $100 more to basically buy $10,000 equivalent value of this company. So the calculator basically gives at least, some assistance, in calculating the value of the order. So instead of going with the Excel sheet or, like calculator hand like I have right here, you can basically, save yourself time and just execute as you need to do. And our calculator speaks for you, so you're going to be surprised when you go into the next page. So you know how much more or less you can actually go in terms of the price. So let's just move this and put $5 and a penny. We at least know how much more fees have to pay. Let's just say we just put 2,000 units and $5 and a penny. Now, right here, I'd recommend everybody when they're getting their first trade to actually press this question mark right here. Why? Because the order type has been expanded. So in the past, it was just limit and market. So a limit order is basically where, your order will not be filled unless the price is above or below that limit price. And this depends on if you're either buying or selling. So if you're buying, unless the actual person who is selling brings their order price down to your bid order, the order will not be filled. And the converse is true for the sell order, whereby unless the bidder actually brings up their bidding price up to your selling price, order will not be filled. And that can use a bit of flexibility because, for most persons, you want to order at market because in the context of persons who are on the buy side especially, it will be negative for you in most scenarios because what happens is that they put a market order for on the buy side, especially we don't know how the stock trades sometimes where, if you're just desperate to get the stock, you might end up paying more for the stock and you need to actually do, you can actually buy more units. So a market order is, as I said, like dead emergency, you're like, I have to get the stock before, it probably runs up or whatever. As I said, people, sit back, breathe, look at the data, look at the price history. You can access it, you can view it, use it. All or none basically means that the order has to be filled in its entirety or it doesn't get filled at all. Fill or kill basically, is like, this order that, and it goes on the market, it has to be filled quickly or it's basically cancelled. So I had orders filled in a particular time span. I never used fill or kill before or fill and kill. But again, they basically explain themselves. If one criteria isn't fulfilled, then, order gets cancelled. And if one criteria is filled, then the order goes through. I've used the order feature before because, so what happens, people, is that when you actually have orders in JC or whatever, when you're buying a stock, although if I put up to buy 2,000 units, that one might be 1,000 units on sale at that particular price. So that one might probably get partially filled. And for some persons, they don't want the order to linger past a particular point where to be buying in increments. They want to just get all at once. So an all or none order actually works in their favor because if you're buying a stock, so when I say the exact volume are greater in order for order to be filled, and for the sell side, if you're doing all or none, somebody has to buy the entire volume that you're selling at that price in order for it to be filled. So these different flexible order types basically give you the advantage of trying to make orders a bit more flexible and desirable. In the US, it's a little bit different. It's not a day, but hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying and I'm speaking slowly, articulated, and you're able to understand and see what I'm discussing right here. If you need to zoom in further, sure, but for the expiry type, go till date basically means you can set a date that you want this order to expire. So for example, we can put this just to expire all the way in April 8th. And based on my guess, that's approximately 6 months from now. Or we can put good for day. Good for day means that if the order isn't filled in the day, it gets cancelled. Point blank. Good to the date, basically, the order doesn't get filled by that particular time frame or filled in its entirety, it gets cancelled. And good to cancel just means Kingdom Come could be coming tomorrow and the order will be cancelled. It will be cancelled or removed when it's been filled. So that's what good till cancelled means. meaning that unless you cancel the order, it will stay in the queue as is. So these different kind of order types basically give you at least an understanding as to, what goes on. So order type, I want to select limit, select my JCSD account, and as I right here, you can actually see the queue, and it tells you the currency of the stock as well. So you can see the queue before you actually buy again. You press review request, it tells you how much cash you have on hand, the symbol, it's where the market or the company's main market or not, and it shows you the fee breakdown. The broker fee is a commission, the JSC fee, it's a combination of the JCSD cess and the JSC's fee. The JSC has a cess of 0.3%, and the JSC has a trade fee of 0.03%. But in recent times, when JtraderPro evolved and whatever, they just combine it into one fee, which is the JSC, which is 0.33% of the overall value of this trade. The broker's commission is multiplied by the value of this trade as well. So, as I'm saying, in this case, my broker charges 0.5%. So this is the commission that I'm in charge at 0.5%. If it was 1%, I'd be charged $100.20. If it was 32% commission, I'd be charged $200.40. So having a broker that costs you less in terms of commission with JtraderPro does matter, because those cost savings do add up. And the GCT is basically 15% times the sum of these three fees. So if you're paying more commission, you're paying more tax to the government, and that isn't something people sometimes desire in essence. So here, and right here, it will tell you have to basically check and verify, and you have to basically agree to, do you want this order to be, it tells you if the order has enough cash. If you have enough cash, it tells you, your order can be fulfilled. So let me try and put in an order for tomorrow, just to test an idea. So what can I put an order in for tomorrow? How about Seprod? Hey,
Right.
let us see.
Interesting.
All right, so we see the queue right here. This is the strongest bid, but these volumes are pretty strong for the sell side. So let's look down. All right. So the reference price right here, guys.
Question, David. How do you know what? So how do persons use information like that reference price to know? Because sometimes you'll see prices in the queue that are way below the current
market price
best bid, for example. How are persons able to set such low prices?
All right, so remember, people, this is a free market. If someone wants to sell their stock for $1, for example, they trade for 60, power to them. I'm taking a cheap stock if I want. But basically, you have persons who actually anticipate potential stock sell downs. So, for example, back in May and back in I think around August, Seprod had two major sell downs. So it was at stage trading for $73, and it halted down to like 58. So you have some persons who are like, I'm gonna put my orders back in and get lucky again. And the persons who had their orders in at those ridiculous prices and they got filled, and they were like, wow, that's good, because when they sold, they got at least 10% plus on their what they bought it for. So, but that's just it. Some persons, anticipate the price will go down by that particular point. So, for them, it might seem ridiculous to us, but for others, it's perfectly fine for them. And the reference price is basically the price you use to know which direction a stock will halt, if it's going upwards or downwards. So for those who don't know, as the JSC's currently will say if a stock goes up or down by 15% in a trading session, to be halted for an hour and then unhalted after. So if the stock halts at 9:31, it will be traded again at 10:31. And under the JSC's current rules and trading system, a stock cannot rise or drop by more than 30% in any given trading day. So right here, I'm expecting the events over this weekend, based on, I should say this weekend because this is in the present when I'm doing this discussion, to go down. So I expect the stock to potentially go down, and I don't know it's gonna halt, but we don't take gambles. We take calculated risk. Am I right, Jermaine?
Agreed.
So I'm going to put a order right here, 53.63, which is basically the halt price. And I'm going to put an expiration date till Tuesday. So let us see. All right. And oh yeah, guys, remember the JSC's minimum trading unit is 1 unit now. So in the past, it used to be 100 units. You had to actually buy or sell. But now it's 1 unit. So if you only want to buy 1 unit of a stock to become a shareholder, then power to you, because if you're looking to buy into an API or they're giving persons time to become shareholders to participate, then why buy 100 units when you can just buy 1 and get the same benefit? So it's 140. Review. Oh, I'm gonna put limit. Review order. Review request. Let's select the account. So everything is good. As I said, I don't see any queries telling me, that I need to have enough funds. So confirm. And it tells you in the view order section that you're able to actually check, what's going on for your orders. So I'm going to view orders. It tells me that it's pending. So when I go to view details, and the details on the left, they're blurred out. It tells you, orders pending operation, the volume, the total cost, and everything. It's all it trailers actually see how many units of your stock was filled at this particular price. It tells you, if you change your order. So for example, I can press edit right here, or I can press cancel order. I can just press edit right here and just edit my order. So I can edit and basically, increase my quantity, adjust my price, change the expiration type. Because sometimes you have things that you want to change. So as I'm saying, this is just basically to, give you some context, and you can press straight to either place the order or view orders, doesn't matter. So back to the markets. As I said in the past, it will tell you what the stock ticker symbol was. I don't know why that is happening, but for those who don't know, what you can simply do, guys, is, all right, type in, for example, BIL trading information, Jamstockex. So in this case, I didn't know what the company's ticker or symbol was, but I just typed into the JSC's website and it tells me what the company's name is. So even though I don't know, I can use this route. And I didn't know what BRG is, for example. So I put in BRG. And I said adjusted the part of the URL, and it means it's Burger against Jamaica Limited. So although you study the actual company name, I don't know why it's not telling you no, but as I said, that's one way you can actually look at it. See a Carrera, Siboney, Carib Cement. If I come to the Carib Cement, I'm interested in the queue because someone is seeing a good quantity units right here. As you kind of see, going on further in the queue, the volumes are kind of small, which kind of tells me that it doesn't take much for someone to just clear the queue and for the price to go up. And even CPJ set an all-time high of $7.50 on Friday. Check out the queue. Pretty interesting. Check out the volume. Wow. So the volume was a trade off this entire sell side, then it'd be pretty fun. Let us check something. The reference price is $6.66 right here. What I'd also recommend, guys, is that you check out the pre-market trades or pre-market at 9 o'clock in the morning, because this reference price right here might actually change. Key note, and what I'm saying, this price might change. As I keep mentioning this, is that information right here is reflecting also to what happened as of Friday. This information can change, so I recommend you check back on Monday, or in this case, when the market opens again at pre-market at 9 o'clock, so at least I aware what the reference price is. Reason being, if you expect the stock to run, for example, and you want to calculate, what's the call price, you would, just put in the reference price, multiply it by 1.15 if you expect stock price to go up at 15%, or multiply by 0.85 to figure out what the price is if the stock was to go down. Simple math, guys. So in this case, reference price is $6.66. When I multiply by 1.15, I get $7.66. And I multiply it by 0.85, I get 5.66. And as I said, this is just basically, good information to have. Basically, you're probably looking to a person who likes to trade, or says you want to sell a stock, or you're looking to enter a stock, and you expect this interest to be so substantial that's going to halt the stock, then it's a good thing to understand or use to, plan your strategies when you're actually buying or selling a stock. As I said, these are all the main market stocks. And if for persons who are unaware, if you see a figure next to a stock symbol, it probably means it's a preference share. So right here, this is Eppley Limited Ordinary Shares, EPLY, but right here, EPLY5 is the preference share, 5% preference share. 7.25 is the other preference share, and so on and so forth. So when you see no best ask, that means nobody is selling. You see no best bid, nobody's buying or pushing to bid for the stock. And that's why as you go down, you see different companies, same thing again, preference share, and this is the ordinary share for JMB Group Limited right here. And these are JPS preference shares. And as we scroll down, we just see different companies. We're not scrolling too fast. And SRF JMD Cygnus Real Estate Finance, the Jamaican dollar version. So remember, guys, you have some stocks that are basically, dual priced, meaning some which are in JMD, some which are in USD, but it's the same company. So that's why you're going to see JMD next to, in this case, next to the Cygnus Real Estate Finance ticker, basically. And good old Wigton, tough days for it. Low IPO price of 50 cents. So when we go to the junior market, same premise. This is all JMD, guys. For those persons who are watching from other countries or wondering what we're talking about, this is JMD, Jamaican dollars. You see the same display information. As I don't know why you don't like companies' names. But as I said, I look at Dolphin Co, for example. Because I'm zooming in so far, guys, the display resolution changes. So when I scroll down, this is what I see. For some persons, when they're on their mobile devices, it's what they'll see as well, depending on how the device is configured. If you're using mobile view or desktop view. So if you're using a mobile device, this is probably what you actually see when you're looking from a mobile device. So let's press catering, everything fresh. First companies. And remember, guys, the junior market is for companies which have raised between $50 to $500 million, or their IPO resulted in the value not exceeding $500 million, but probably exceeding minimum $50 million. So, for example, Express Catering Limited did not raise any money in its IPO. It was a sale of shares by its parent company, Margaritaville St. Lucia. And for the USD market, this is US dollars, guys. So Equity Line Mortgage Investment Corporation, someone is willing to sell at $1.99, and with the US market on the JSE, it goes to 4 decimal places. But the JMD stocks, it only goes to 2 decimal places. That's something that I should understand over here, because I've had friends who, have been decimated or, devastated, I should say, a better word, when, they look and see that their order didn't fill by what? 0.0001. Because it's a penny, it's 1 times 10 to the minus 4, but hope you guys understand what I'm saying though still. So as I said, right here, preference shares. This is MPC, Carbon Clean Energy, USD's US dollar stock. Margaritaville Turks, Productive Business Solutions, Proven Investments Limited, and for those who are confused right here, Cygnus Credit Limited had 2 classes of shares, but 4 different tickers on the JSE. I'm not going to get into the details of this right here, but those are wondering, SCI USD is one you should really be concerned about because it's one that's traded more, and the other ticker you're also seeing right there. Sterling Investments Limited, Signus Real Estate Finance USD, and Jamaica Highway USD. The JSE's bond market, so companies that choose to actually list their bonds. So the companies can choose to list their bonds on the JSE's bond market, or they can choose to list their bonds on the JSE's private market. 2 different markets. The private market is, for exempt distribution for only accredited investors, or those are given given exemptions. So that's why you don't see the JSE's private market right here. It's an entirely different platform as well. So right here, Access Financial Services preference bond, I should say, it's due 2025. CPJ is one that's due 2023. And when you say VR, in most times, guys, that's talking about video replay, like in FIFA or football. VR in this case means variable rate. So in this case, the rest of the bond, in this case, isn't fixed for the entire life of its existence. It's actually, variable at a particular parts of its life. So for those wondering as well, you go to accounts and you go to funding/fund out, right? So if you're going to funding, set the account, set the currency, and it tells you how much money is in your account. So let's just say I want to funding $100 for example. Let's say my current balance is this, tells me how much I want to request, a JSST account, and I confirm or edit. This is for both JMD and USD. So, you can choose how you want to fund in. And once you do the request, you would need to actually contact your advisor or the client email as referencing for him to approve it. And you press confirm, you're good. And for those who are wondering, whenever you buy or sell a stock, there's something called T+2, trade plus 2 days. So if I do a stock trade on a Monday, in this case, let's say sell a stock, I want to be able to actually access those funds until the Wednesday when those funds settle. So if I just send a fund request to your advisor on the Monday, the funds won't be released until the Wednesday after trading, actually, to further clarify. So under account overview, if you have active orders, it will show up on the right here. So it tells you the status, the action. So if it's partially filled, it's on the status, you're going to see partially filled. Action, if it's a buy or sell symbol, the similar to companies like SIL or NCBFG or BRG, the quantity that's probably left outstanding, the price of the order, when it was done, and the details. Same for the funding requests. So it can be a fund out or fund in. And this matters because it lets you know if your advisor, your broker, has actually done their part to approve the funding to you or have not actually processed the request. And also, for those who don't know, right here on this section of the display, I press view details, you're actually able to check and see your different funding requests. So you can actually see the funding requests is approved or denied, and check how many stocks you own, and see your account details right here to how much money you have in JMD or USD terms. And then you can always look at, for example, create a statement. So for persons like me, who are going to bank sometime, I have a headache with them. So what do? I generate a statement report from the JtraderPro platform, which actually allows me to generate in PDF form to carry to the bank and say, hey, it's on the JSE's information system. These are the stocks I own. These are my dividends. So, I'm not joking with you. Can select. And the thing is, with the time frame you select, allows you to actually see the trades that were done for this particular stocks in your portfolio as well, for that particular account. So in this case, I'm not sure if it's in this case, it's only one account on this platform, if it's just for this one account, or if I can do it for each account, but you can generate the statements right here. And then there's an account, you can see a fund request and see they're approved or denied. That's really JtraderPro for you guys. So you place order on the right, you have your pending account request. If I did not another account, if there any is still pending, your funding/fund out to the right. You have your market, which is going to see the market in its full form. you add JCSD account, you're adding more accounts. You can see your name, number, balance, status, and details. As I said, you can also, suspend any account if you want. When you go here to your contact us part, you can see, anything right here. And it's actually an email that you're supposed to email if you get locked out of your JtraderPro account. I think it supports ots@jamstockex.com, but I have to check after this to make you know. If you want any help, you can check this right here. It tells you the JS, it tells you the trading platform information, and it tells you, how you're supposed to, follow the process. And it actually tells you who you're actually supposed to send emails to right here in relation to, approving the funding request or not. And see, email right here, support ots@jamstockex.com. And there's a number to call and so on. And this is recent, May 2021. So you have no excuse as to who you can contact, and your brokers at least should be able to say, hey, we got your request, we need to blah, blah, blah. You understand? And your settings right here, to basically update your security questions or passwords. As I said, it's not that complex, and it has a timer right here. And this is in Jamaican time, guys. So if you're a different country or region, I'm not sure it will reflect, but it's showing Jamaican time and the date. And it's in all the information right here for the market indices and so on. So in this case, all indices went up for the day. And the market is right here. So the market is open, you're going to see open. If the stock is halted, you're going to see halt a market status, which means that you can't trade that stock for that period. So this is really just, JtraderPro in all its honesty. And let me break down some other details that you probably might not have heard or been told. With JtraderPro, it's connected to the JSE system. And let us actually look at, say, back at the same 138. Let me zoom out so the display is better. So let's just say I want to actually buy this stock immediately, right? I have a desire to really get it. What I could do is I could actually put in my best bid as the selling price. And when you put in the order is press confirm on your trading and you put in your confirm your order. You can refresh the page probably like a second, and you can go into your view order list and say the order actually was filled. I put 2,000 units to be purchased at $5. What will happen is that when I go to view my orders, it was partially filled. And when I check by the queue right here, I will see that this order right here is gone. But on the buy side, I'll probably see the remaining quantity I just purchased at the price, which should probably in this case $5. And for those who don't know, let's just say, for example, you have an emergency, right? You probably see a stock you want to buy, but you can contact your broker in quick enough in time to actually, access the funds. So with JtraderPro, what you can actually do is you can actually sell a stock. Let's say you sell at $455, right? And 100 units. You get to $455 minus the fees. And instead of same money, you actually have access to after you sold the stock. Can be used to say, for example, by it's for limited as you need to. So person doesn't actually know, do day trade in the JSE whereby, they look around, probably track multiple stocks and where, they actually buy at one time in the day, sell at another time in the day, and able to order in again at a lower price so that the price does fall. They do catch it again and then they're able to buy back at lower price and then sell back at a higher price. It's a fun game for some persons, but others don't have the time. So for example, let's go to spread of 24 cents. So some persons, would have had an order at 251 or 250, and they would have sold in the morning at 274. And they were able to use the cash in the same trading session basically. So although if you want to actually access the funds, meaning you sell a stock or whatever, you have to do T+2 and wait. But if you're actually looking to trade the money continuously or so on, then power to you. Go on. So what's happening basically is that you could actually, let's just say you look at Honeybun, for example. You could just, sell another stock, buy this price right now, and let's just say Honeybun goes to next term, for example. Then you could just sell, I say somebody sells them back to $8.50, and you got their order right there. You're able to buy back again at a cheaper price. So there's no limitation per se anymore as to, being able to buy or sell a particular price and being able to take advantage of spreads during the day. So if some persons, check at one point in the day, or they have a price alert with some particular apps, order field, all right, check, all right, go back in JtraderPro and put in a buy order. Buy order field, all right, put in a sell order. And this is a person actually compound wealth, because so instead of you actually holding on to a stock for 10 years, because you're saying, all right, you buy it at $1, it's going to go to $100 in the 10-year time frame, right? But stocks aren't linearly progressing upwards during that intermediary time frame. So let us say, for example, within a month, you see the stock up and down every second, right? There are persons who will actually look at the volatility, buy low, sell high, buy low again, and keep buying and selling under that spread between the highest and lowest point of the price for the day. Or what that does, it allows them to actually increase their overall units, rather than actually putting more cash. So by the strategy, person actually able to, accumulate more units, build their dividends as well, because the more units you have, the more you're going to get the dividend payments. And that's why, day trading has become so much more attractive on the JSE in recent times, because much is volatility, and you actually understand that particular stock, and where it might retrace, where it might go up again, then you can make some money. So recently, so back in August, let's go into as a high of $2.45. I can actually show you. Peak tier. So some persons could have just bought at, for example, and started the week at $2.25, so that's $2.45, and by the end of the week, going to the following Monday, buy back again at $2. And then when the price went to $2.80 recently, and it's priced now, could have sold again and back at $2.50, and they'll be consistently increasing overall units and making profit at any given time. And for some persons, they could take that profit they make off that stock and put another stock, and then take that original capital and compound it again in that same stock. So I'm going to get some training strategies and ideas right here at the same time, while making you appreciate the change in JtraderPro, which has been very drastic over the years. So as I said, in the past, we couldn't see the actual trading or the trend progression of the stocks in terms of the line graph. It didn't actually have that flexibility of, buying and selling back in the same day. In the past, it actually have to wait for that T+2 time actually process. And after 2018, it was T+3. So it was stuck on a Monday, it wait until actually it's Thursday, or it's settled, before you can actually sell it again. So it's actually become much more liberalized and actually freer on JtraderPro in recent times. As I said, because when it's to the JSE system, once actually set, for example, just say right here, the price was 93 cents in a day, and you sell back at $1.20. You could then go into another stock and just, for example, Jamaica Teas, and catch you sell them at $4.02, and then compounding money, and keep moving money around and keep compounding it and just keep the cycle going and keep building wealth. So these are the things I'm basically covered so far at JtraderPro, and I've given, as I said, the most in-depth analysis I could have given without being too technical at the same time. And as I said, I'm not sure I need to explain the names of the companies anymore, but as I said, we move. So as I said, JtraderPro, as you see right here, T+2, trade plus 2 days, and on the JtraderPro's right here, a continuous banner showing the list of brokers they can use to actually trade on JtraderPro. But key note, remember guys, these are brokers are different opening amounts for the brokerage accounts. So people right now is actually at $200,000 open an account. Yeah, STI, which is usually like 25 grand, BMF is like 10 grand, and so on and so forth. So I would talk to these brokers and call them on the phone and ask what's your minimum opening amount to open an equity or brokerage account, and just find out what's around the market and see the commission on JtraderPro as well. And for those who don't know, Kalila Reynolds, yes, please go and check out Kalila Reynolds on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, wherever you can find her. She did a recent broker guide, and I think it's on her website as well, where she actually went through the different brokerage firms by information and actually found out, what was that broker's JtraderPro rate or the regular brokerage rate. So even if you don't know what some of these rates are, what open amounts are, you can go and check Kalila Reynolds' website and actually find that guide and find information.
So thank you for watching this video. I trust that it was extremely helpful for you. If there are any questions that you have for David or myself, leave them in the comments below. We're going to be releasing a brand new stock review video next week, so subscribe to our channel to get notified when that comes out. If you're on social media, which I believe you may be, follow us on any platform that you wish. We're on all of them, and we definitely look out to seeing you in the next video.